Nah. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Lupus Talks. This is Ed Peterson, Program Director for Lupus Talks, Lupus of Nevada, with Calvini Williams and, of course, Miss Dolores Olson. I call them the dynamic duo. In reference to all things that's going to help benefit you all that's know someone has the autoimmune disease and know those who are suffering from autoimmune disease, what you can do to have a quality lifestyle. They'll be sharing some information, tools, and tips in reference to that, and as well
You
as
trying to charge it up? Is that
you
what he
get
said?
diagnosed properly in reference to that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna just let Dr. Williams take it away. I don't think she can hear me, but anyway, so I guess you can hear me. So I just want to give you guys some insights to that. Dolores, you can start off while Calvini stepped away for a second.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lupus Talks. We are so happy that you guys are here on this educational platform. You learn so much from this platform. We get a lot of helpful information to help us out on our journey in life of dealing with lupus, and as well as other things that we speak on certain topics that can. So while you're going through any diseases that you go through, that you have in your life, that you will be aware of for your own protection, because there's a lot of things out there that we just don't know, and that's good to get educated on it. I said that we're not professionals or anything like that. Like, we always have a disclaimer like that. This is just to help us, just to help you guys out. But you guys, of course, talk to your doctor always, or anything that you take, or you want to go forward in life. You always talk with your doctor. But today we're going to be talking on stem cells. So as soon as the host comes on, we're going to talk about that, and what it does, and what the benefits of it, and how it will be. So we're so that's all gonna be what we're gonna be talking about, because it's very, very important. Like I said, that anything that you're trying to do, they could say, "Oh, this will cure this will cure that, this will cure that." Now, you always talk to your doctor about it, because certain conditions, certain conditions in your health conditions, it can make more harm on your health.
Yeah.
So
Can you hear me?
always. Now, there you go. Here's the hostess right now.
No, you're right. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, so you have to continue, to continue to do your resources as well, but talk to your doctor as well, because sometimes when you do your research anyway, sometimes they just cut off certain information, and that's why it's always good to talk to your physician about anything.
Amen.
And so I'll go ahead and I will let you talk to the host right now. All right, here's our hostess.
Hi. Thanks, Dolores. You just really interceded that, boy. You learned a lot. I like to thank Ed because he's around here somewhere. Did you want to start off? You want us to keep going, Ed? Okay, I guess we keep going. My name is Dr. Calvinia Williams. I got my doctorate in divinity, so I let everybody know. I got my master's in theology, so let everybody know that, and got my BS. I don't want to say BS, but you know what I'm saying. BS in criminal justice, my AA in behavior sciences and criminal justice. There's a lot of degrees involved with this, but wisdom is what is the best thing you can have. So I thank God for giving my mom and dad the ability to give me as much education as I can, so you could take those thought processes and keep on going and keep on helping others. Now, what's so important for us, you have to subscribe, you have to click share, and you got to sponsor us in some kind of sponsor. We're not asking for money, but we're asking for you to click those buttons to help us stay on. So that's important. Dolores talked about stem cells and what they are and what they do. So we're going to get right off in that, because I was at a seminar and someone had us there and we were eating dinner. I got food poisoning there. I'll just let y'all know that. But it was very interesting because he passed around a little, their handouts. They gave this to us after the future of medicine, personal health, and longevity. Research continues to demonstrate potential benefits in the anti-inflammatory, and autoimmune and regenerative actions of stem cells. He went on to say newborns' stem cells rapidly decline with age 1 through 10,000, a teenager 1 through 100,000, age 31 through 250,000, age 51 through 400,000, and when you get to age 81 to 2 million. I don't know, what that means. It says it rapidly declined, but I would have to have some charts or something to see, exactly what he's talking about. But I want to tell you, stem cells do offer promise for new medical treatments. And I'm looking on the Mayo Clinic resource, so you can come with me on that. Stem cells, what do they do? You've heard about stem cells in the news, and perhaps you've wondered if they might help you or a loved one. And I thought about that many times after I heard it with serious disease. Stem cells are a special type. So you'll have all the special type of cells that have two important properties. They are able to make more cells like themselves. That is, they self-renew. They self-renew. So that's very, very important. They self-renew. And some people are going to say, what do you mean they self-renew? Let's see if they tell us. And they can become other cells that do different things in the process known as differentiation. Stem cells are found in almost all tissue of the body, and they are needed to the maintenance of tissue as well as for the repair and after injury. Now, a lot of people are taking the stem cell and they want, like the group that my brother and I went to, that night dinner, they wanted to come over our homes the next day over here in the Elianta area. They thought everybody was just O and C now. I'm going to say that. I'm not C now. That's my personal opinion. But it was such a push. I'm going to tell you that because no names called, but they wanted to come into our homes if we qualified for $7,000 to $20,000, and they wanted to inject us with stem cells in our body through a nurse practitioner. I wasn't going to do that. First of all, I wasn't going to give up any kind of money. And secondly, I wasn't going to do that, take out any loan or whatever. You first talk to your doctors. It sounds good, everyone listening today, but you have to understand when it sounds good, it may not be good for everyone. So that's why it's so important because they said there are various types of stem cells. Embryonic stem cells are the more versatile since they can develop into all the cells of the developing fetus. The majority of stem cells in the body have fewer abilities to give rise to cells and may only help maintain, repair the tissues and organs in which they reside. No other cell in the body has a natural ability to generate new cell types. That is so important. And they say, why is there such an interest in stem cells? And that's what I asked myself. Increase understanding of how the disease occurs, generate healthy cells to replace the cells affected by disease. But, they're test new drugs for safety and effectiveness. But my mind is going on, what if you already have a pre-existing disease and that stem cell is injected into your body, 50,000, 50 million, whatever. They said there's quite a few that would be that they could inject in your body. If you have bad shoulders, it go in one shoulder, go in another shoulder, go in a leg. They can do it 4 times. And 4 times 10,000, it could be 10, 20, 30, it could be $40,000 on up. But that's my question out there to anyone who wants to answer it, who wants to give us an email. If you already have a disease, do you think that it's going to put the disease in remission? Do you think it's going to affect the body in any kind of way because your disease has been in your body for over 20, 25, 26 years? those are the things that we have to ask questions about, and we have to research online with the Mayo Clinic, with the different various clinics around, Cedars-Sinai, all of that. So, Dolores, what is your opinion about that? Because that's how I feel about it right now.
Yeah, definitely. Like I was mentioning too, because like right now, like when it says what the benefits and stuff like that, okay, they may have some good benefits, but you don't know. Like they said, it could reduce inflammation, the pain, healing, improve joint function, tissue,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of other things too. But like I said, that you always have to you always have to check with your doctor because it can affect you more and more
Mm-hmm.
because when they say it's too good to be true, you're not true and you're not for sure about it. You always ask your doctor because your doctor knows more. You
Mm-hmm.
will be amazed how some doctors they study. Some doctors may not study. Say I don't really know
Everything.
too much, but there's most doctors that have that knowledge to be able to know what it does to you and that, but they said it's totally up to you, but they at least they let you know. But
Mm-hmm.
why risk yourself when you know if it's dangerous, because
Mm-hmm.
something like that, that's why you have to really look into anything. Because like they said, if you don't read the labels on it's like it's this example, if you don't read your labels right and stuff like that, and you go to eat something, you find out that big old word, it's a chemical in the body, and what
Mm-hmm.
does it do it
Mm-hmm.
to your body? It's breaking
Or,
your body down.
or you
So
have a
that's the same thing.
parasite.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's right. You can have a
Have a
parasite.
parasite rolling out of there.
Yeah,
Yep.
anything. And that's why
Yep.
you always that's why if I'm not for sure about that word, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna screenshot it or something like that to take a picture. And now I'm gonna now I said, oh, let me go search this real fast. I want to make sure what this is. Is that a chemical? Is that a drug or something like that? You
Mm-hmm.
just don't know because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's a money market nowadays, and sometimes and when you have mentioned that before about healthy foods, right? And some of the
Mm-hmm.
healthy foods you got to be careful because it's not really
Mm-hmm.
healthy for you, and that's why you got to really do be educated on anything, educated on medicine too, because doctors mess up on medicines too, and so that's why you have to really go to your drugstore on there and you look up to make sure the numbers match.
Mm-hmm.
There's a site where to make sure the numbers match. If they don't match, it's not the right medication that
Mm-hmm.
they accidentally filled a wrong medication. That's why you can't always trust the pharmacy because they make mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's
Absolutely.
why, yeah, and that's why you always have to do your education. Always have that site information. I've been raised up with a lot of doctor knowledges because we have nurses in the family, and so I learned a lot from them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stuff that I like. Wow, it's like wow, I didn't even know it. And but that's good. I had that knowledge because it's very important because people had took the wrong medication and they became hospitalized.
Yeah, that's true.
And,
I've
yeah.
had one do that too. Absolutely. Take something. It's just like, example, the not mentioning the diet pill that people are taking. You know, you were on it, and I was telling you about it. You jumped off that real quick. You might have lost 4 or 5 pounds, which you did, remember? But you
Oh
jumped
yeah,
off that real quick. No mentioning names, but you
yeah.
jumped
I
off.
won't mention the name. Yeah.
But it's just like they said that, what are stem cell lines? And a stem cell line is a group of cells that are descended from a single original stem cell and are grown in a lab. Cells in the stem cell line keep growing but don't become specialized cells. Ideally, they remain free of genetic defects, and continue to create more stem cells. Clusters of cells can be taken from a stem cell line and frozen for storage or shared with other researchers. And that's something, it's amazing how vastly the doctors can work on things like this. And they said, have stem cells already been used to treat disease? Well, here's something right here. It says yes. Mind you, I'm looking on Mayo Clinic site. So I just want to let the newcomers that have come on. Yes, doctors have performed stem cell transplants, also known as bone marrow transplants, for many decades. And they go on to say stem cells replace cells damaged by chemotherapy or disease, or serve as a way for the donor's immune system to fight some of the types of cancer and blood related diseases. Now, we're not on here knocking this. We are just giving out the information so you can go back to your doctor and make that reasonable call. You know, that's the best thing that I know I can do. You know, when I go see my doctor next week, I'll ask him, you know, my shoulder was hurting off the rim, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be Miss Sexy Lady. It's I've lost so much weight, you know, from one flare up after another, after another, after another. Your body becomes to the point that it really doesn't want to eat anything. You know, you get particular on what you eat, lots of water you drink, but you still have to have that protein. You got to have that. So, and it's hard to eat anything, like I said, when a person is hurting. They talk about also what are the potential problems of using uh, embryo stem cells, and it says they can be useful. Researchers, let me see, they can be useful. Let's go back to where it is. Researchers must be certain that the stem cells will differentiate into specific cell types desired, you know, that are desired. So they have to understand that this stem cell is going to help you, me, everyone else. That's, you know, what they're trying to do. So it's a difficult situation when you're dealing with scientists and these stem cells. Now, I looked on my site, well, regular in Yelp, YELP. I'll say that. Kudos for y'all. Um, and I looked, there's so many uh, research areas that are that have stem cell research, wanting people to sign up, wanting to call them, see what's going on, and all of that. So they've had to have some kind of approval to do this. So again, I just tell you, you have to be very careful because, you know, it says, why can't researchers use the adult stem cells instead? And it says they're promising, but process and cell reprogramming and the formation of iPSCs has generally enhanced research in the field. However, reprogramming is an inefficient process. When possible, iPSCs are used instead of embryonic stem cells, since this avoids the ethical issues that use the embryonic stem cells that may be more morally objectable for some people. Now, they're talking about, you know, some people, they're talking about them babies being used, because I mentioned that too. Some people think babies being used are snatching their umbilical cords, and when they pass away, they, you know, say they had a miscarriage, they want everything. That's what they're talking about, and that's not an ethical. That's something that uh, we as people have fought about. You know, leave the baby in the parts that should leave the baby whole. The baby's passed away, show some respect. And so that's what the fight was, and it has been for a long time. So that's where we are with that. Dolores, do you have anything to add to this?
Yes, like we were saying too, I'm gonna piggyback. Yeah, like when I try to down anything, but it's just the fact that you have to really read it really well, and you
Your
have to really
research.
just really do your research, because most things that we're doing to our bodies, again, it can harm us with certain conditions. So maybe it worked for one, but it won't work for all. A lot, because some of them may have more problems than you think, and then they thinking to go try this new product or whatever, and what happens? They have complications from
Mm-hmm.
the treatment, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's always good to Like we always say, note takers,
Mm-hmm.
are the best. Note takers are the best. So always take your notes and then go in there and ask questions to your doctor, because that's where our doctors, our physicians are there. And I'm sure if they
Mm-hmm.
don't know that, if they, because some of them may not have the knowledge on that, they will research for you,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll find out and get back to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now if you have some that don't know and try to guess off their head, no, 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 no. We can't have that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If they say, now the difference is they say, I'm gonna go and research this, and then I'm gonna go and then I'll get back to you. That's the best. That's the best thing they can do. But if
That's the
somebody's
point.
trying to figure out on the top of their head,
Yeah.
oh
People
no, no,
always want you, don't they, Dolores? They want you to make those major decisions. I've noticed
that's right.
I've had a lot of salespeople call up here. Now, I may call them to see, I wanted to get some house cleaning done, before y'all show up. And Nathan went in there and cleaned that kitchen impeccable. He said, we don't need nobody in here trying to clean this and clean that. I understand you can't mop the way you want to mop, but it was just ridiculous. He made that one phone call I made, and that was them that just called. I didn't answer it, and they come at you. The salespeople come at you, come at you, come at you. They want to charge $200 for 2 rooms. Then they want to charge $100 for 2 rooms. Then they want to charge $105, then $100. It's ridiculous. Well, how you gonna charge me $100 for 2 rooms? That doesn't make any sense. When you advertise $19.99 for 3 rooms, something's wrong here. So I compare that to what she just got through saying. You got to look at the whole round apple. You can't let them take any pieces out of that apple, because they will. Well, I didn't tell you that. And then they want you to get a membership. And we said, why should we get a membership? So when we call in, we can say we want Jane, John, and Mary. We like how they clean up the house. We like them. I'm not paying you $43 a month for me to name who I want. That's a ripoff. So when we look at this, like, I'm going to go back to where the stem cells come from. And it says human umbilical cords are collected from hospitals across the United States, from mothers who consent, mind you, consent to donate the cord after the birth of a healthy live baby. Only cord cells from healthy mothers and babies are accepted. Only. Only. And I know that didn't happen with me with my I call her to be or whatever, with the certain person in my family. Okay, they kept their umbilical cord and they froze it, so nobody would get. They used it for sickness. So that's one of the things that they tend to do. They use it for that, but that was healthy because my grandbaby's a healthy little thing on breast milk. So that's what they use it for. But they do come in there and ask them, do you want your umbilical cord? I couldn't fix my mouth to say that, Lord, with your umbilical cord. I'd be scared that the husband would drive me out, the family would drive me out. It's just, I don't know, it's just like vultures. Do you want the umbilical cord? They want to take everything from us. I mean, that's how I feel about it. I'm just making a comical joke in my mind, because it's something for me. I'm glad I didn't see a certain group come in there when I came in there when the baby was born. I probably would have ran him out. No, I better limp them out, Dolores, limp them out, because I don't want to fall. But they're doing their job. I'm just making a joke. They're doing their job, but then on the other hand, you do have people that will not do that. Now, there are negative effects with this, and it says, in small percentage of patients, we see a minor reaction of inflammation and soreness. Some patients, depending on the severity of existing conditions, can experience pain at the site of therapy for an extended time. And certainly I've had that. I've had that with my body too, where I've had pain for extended amount of time. Typically, patients do not experience long-term ill effects and quickly see positive outcomes. What I had loved to see is if you had a current chart of those who actually were involved with the program and their responses. They may have that somewhere, their responses, what it did for them, and the doctor's response. What did he feel? Was it something that he was in agreement with? All of that. So you get the to and the fro. You know what I'm saying? You get the person who had the treatment, and you get the doctor. Probably can't comment, but you still would love to have something medically say, hey, here's my opinion. Don't you agree, Dolores? I think that would be good. At least to give somebody
Yes, I do agree.
be a stronger, healthy commitment there. They talked about a good candidate for regenerative therapy. Let's see, through screening and questionnaire will help determine if someone is a candidate for regenerative therapy. So it's important to disclose a complete health history and discuss specific issues and with them. And I know they were telling us and telling everyone that was there, they wanted us to bring out all our medicines so they can decide if we were that candidate. And I think medicines are, that's your private business. Somebody's looking at all your medicine and they think, oh, you can do this, you can do that. And it's just private to me. It's between me and my doctor, my family, and instead of somebody coming in and telling me, oh, okay, this will work, this won't work, this will work, this won't work. And so that's one of the things. There's just a few of the things, how the therapy works. Research continues to demonstrate potential benefits in the anti-inflammatory, emolidation, and regenerative actions of stem cells. And it looks like stem cells are going to be they're rising in popularity. I'm gonna tell you that they're rising, and tell people like me, you, and other folks have a little bit more knowledge of them because they're in the baby stage right now. They've probably been out a long time, but still coming out to the people. They probably haven't been out that long to just plain people. So there needs to be still held some more research and get us interested in. I think that's why they're going around asking for us to meet with them. But you need more than that. You need a community meeting with them, your legislatures, the elected officers. So they're right there because they have to pass whatever they pass for this to be out in the community like this. It has to pass the different things I call it in the legislature and the Congress and the Senate. It just has to pass because nothing can come out like this without approval from the hierarchy. That's what I'm trying to say. So, Lois, you like to add something?
Yeah, exactly. Because like what we was saying, as a piggyback on things that yeah, we have to just really make sure again. I may sound like a recorded record, just repeating, but we have to really just really open up our mouth and
Mm-hmm,
discuss anything with our physicians. Discuss
mm-hmm.
it or anything. In a
That's
sense,
right.
if you take an herbal things too, you gotta discuss it with them because it could interfere with your medicines, right? Some ones can, some don't. But it doesn't hurt to get their feedback too. This is what the doctors are here for. That we know,
That's
number
right.
one, our doctor is Jesus Christ, but the next
That's
is
right. Amen.
physicians that God gifted for had given them gifted hands for healing.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
also
so,
look, Dolores, I wanted to say, and I didn't mean to cut you off while my mind before it goes fogged. Um, Look into your health library at the hospitals because they may have a lot of research on this too. When I had lupus, when I was diagnosed with lupus in the Bay Area, They only had one book in the library. We will not mention the hospital. We will not mention the hospital. Your mama know the hospital. She's insured with them.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And they only had one. And all it said, girl, was really, I'm just, I'm off the top of my head. We have known, we have known, we have no known cure. This is basically what could happen. Death. That was over 20 some odd years ago. How do you think that made me feel after the doctor told me I had that? And then he walked out. And my little son was right there. You know, how? I think he was 5 years old. And my dad was there. Of course, they didn't go in the library because they didn't like hospitals. So they said, you do what the doctor tell you to do. I went in there and found that. I wasn't going to sign that out. I wasn't. And I told myself then, I am going to write books to give people inspiration. And that's what's happened. Loving God While Living with Lupus, the manual for Chris and Christina, the other book that's coming out, which is a Christian book, which is Revelations, the Final Journey. And then there's another book that's coming out. And then we have a ministry that's coming out the 26th, which will be online. Those are the things. You start doing it. You just start doing it. You just got to start doing it. Because when somebody tells me no, I'm not going to, somebody tells me no, I said, why? Because I said no. That's not an answer for me. I have to start researching and that lets me know they don't know what they're doing when they say no. And I question doctors on it all the time. They say, well, no, why? Because always something can be done about diseases. The medicine we're getting basically are from leaves and plants out in the jungle. I call it the jungle. I'm watching a lot of pictures over in Africa, over in Brazil, Argentina. They out there in them jungles and they taking their little bowl and they and they breaking down the particles in that leaf. And that's helping us because it says where it comes from. It says where it comes from, and you have to connect with your doctor to say, is this what I should do? Because you don't want to harm your body. And the medicines they do have out here has helped me tremendously. I'm going to tell whoever's listening from farmer on down, it's helped me tremendously. I don't think through the grace of God I wouldn't have been here if I didn't take the medication they gave me. At that time it was prednisone. I wouldn't have. So I want to give kudos to them, all of them out there, because of the fact that they've saved a lot of lives. They've extended. God saved lives. But God saved, they extended those lives until they can find another medicine that can help them. Exercise is the best bet. I tell people all the time, I got to go to the gym, go and exercise, walk and exercise. If you can't breathe, take your walker and breathe and take deep breaths and take some ice in a cup and start drinking that. Start drinking that or bring your little oxygen that I'm trying to get now. Not to wear all the time, but still, sometimes you have to catch your breath and you can't catch your breath. You feel like you're going to pass out. So especially in this hot 120, 118, 115, 114, 109, 110 weather that's out here. Now I think it's 100 degrees now someplace. I think it is. It might be 100 degrees. It was 100 yesterday. Oh, it's very hot. That's what my computer says. It's very hot out there. So that's all I have to say about that, Look it up. Any conclusions you have, Dolores?
And yeah, the same thing. Yeah, always do your part by finding that important information that you need on anything. Again to say on anything, just continue to read. If you don't understand those words, look it up in the dictionary. There's a medical dictionary, so you can look it up
Yeah.
too. And then that way you will know the full meaning, because regular dictionary may just give you part of it, but if it's dealing with medical, you could go with the medical dictionary. It'll really
It'll help
open
you.
it up.
Yeah. And the portals, Dolores, don't forget them. We didn't have those, and now we have a lot of them. So when you look in the medical dictionary and you pull up some things you don't understand, you can write your doctor, and you can put down there, this is what I don't understand, this word, that word, this word, that word. What is your opinion in related to my disease? And they will respond to you. That's what those, portals are all about.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
So that's what they're all about. You're not out there alone. And you can contact Lupus of Nevada. We don't know everything, but we sure suffer with a lot of things. And that rhyme too, Lord. we don't know everything, but we try to help everybody that we can. We don't give them any medical advice. So if people up here talking about, oh, Dr. Williams giving medical advice. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Think positive and start doing things positive in your life. And that's all we've been trying to do for the last 20 years is give positive advice, and let you know that we have a disclaimer on that. But we've helped so many people. We have a legacy that is long, and people know that. Even Ed knows that. We have a long, long legacy that so many people have been helped. They might have gone on to glory, but they have been helped with the information, educational things from us. And we want to continue to give that information out all over the world. And before we were able to get on a podcast, remember, we helped that lady that had lupus, Neutrina, and brought her here and gave her clinical studies for 2 years, and she had to go back to her place. So it would give her more educational, an educational grip on lupus. Wrote Bishop Tutu. I have a letter out in my garage now from Bishop Tutu that he had said that this United States was the best place for that young lady to be here in a clinical trial so she can come back to her country and help others with the disease lupus that she had. So we made a difference in many lives. So I'm very proud of that, not bragging. But if this was my last day, I would say, thank you. Thank you, God, for giving me an opportunity to reach out and help those who were helpless and didn't know what to do. Thank you for letting us feed those individuals. Thank you for letting us give a few dollars out to help them out and get to their doctors and give them and their doctors an understanding. Because quite frankly, some doctors don't know nothing about lupus. So when I had to go through there, they let me, the patient said, yes, she can come in, and I have her speak for me because the HIPAA laws, and I was able to talk to the doctor and give him some advice and give him some of our books, our book, and just a variety of things to help him. We didn't go in there, angry at everyone saying, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. No, we went in there to work as a team. And that's what it's about. It's a team effort to find ways to help you exist a quality life with this disease. And I think that's my outgoing statement. Dolores, do you have anything else to say? And I don't know where Ed's at.
I'm here. You can't see me?
We go ahead and let Ed take it over now because I think it's over.
Yeah.
I think he's going around and around. That
he
song?
did. We found him. He's
where
not
you go around in
anymore.
circles.
Yeah,
right.
Where
you go around in circles.
Right. So obviously she can't see me or hear me.
Oh Lord!
But,
y'all
thank
would
you
have thought
all.
we had something to drink. We don't drink.
But thank you all
it's
for this
called
edition
H2O.
of Lupus. That's right. Thank you all for Lupus
He's
Talks.
going around, so he lost, girl. Them aliens might have got him.
Yeah. So
the spaceship came down and picked him up.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I'm laughing. I hope they don't come. That spaceship did come around our house 2 miles down when they went to and they landed in that young man's yard. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't want no FBI knocking on my door asking me what I know about it. I know nothing. Read my lips.
All
I
right.
don't know anything either.
All I know is what was on the news thing.
I know that's right.
So that's all I know.
All right.
Don't come pick me up because I don't have nothing to say to you unless you can cure this lupus disease I have. And I can get up there and have a clinic up there. I don't have a problem.
All right. That's right.
They give me a clinic up there, girl, I would leave Earth quick.
Right. So,
And then I would send the medicine and the thing. I would get one of the legal doctors and send everything directly to them down the pipeline and
all
ask the
right.
aliens, how do I do this? Sure
Okay.
enough,
All right then.
you know,
Well,
that's how
I
important it
want to
is to
thank
have,
everybody.
to
Can y'all
have
hear
that
me? Can y'all hear
communication,
me?
because it's all about scientific
Yes, indeed.
information. And
I
that's
hear
all I
you.
want to do. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I want. I wish every state would have a scientific
Well, actually, Calvini can't hear me
portal,
because
not portal, but
she's not
scientific
hearing me talking.
clinic dealing with autoimmune disease.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Anyway, let me mute her because she can't.
Hello.
Yeah,
My
can you hear
mic
me now?
is muted.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So,
Hello?
yeah,
He
I'm
still
here.
ain't said nothing. I told you the aliens picked him up.
Well, she can't hear me for some reason. I don't know why.
Hello.
I'm
Oh,
Well,
here.
wow. That's just wrong.
yeah, that's our
Yeah.
engineer, y'all. He's the best in the business, but something wrong. Somebody didn't want him to talk.
Well, I'm talking.
You
I
know,
don't know
so I
why
guess we
nobody.
need to close out here, huh?
Okay. Yeah. So let me close it out.
Do you hear him?
Dolores, you can hear me.
Yes,
He
I can.
keeps
I can hear you.
he keeps going around and around and around. I
You
think we
hear something
lost
on
him.
her end, and she can't
Uh,
hear me for
uh,
some reason.
yeah, there's something wrong with the technology on one end.
Oh, you know, Texas has that flood and everything, and I like to say we're praying for everyone who have lost
Yeah.
family members, and
Amen.
friends and
Yes.
acquaintances.
Yes.
Lupus Nevada sends their heart out to everyone, and know that we're praying for you because it is a devastating time. A lot of us have lost close siblings, mothers, fathers, and a whole lot of people to tragedy, of that sort. So we want to
Right.
extend our love to you.
Yes, and we want to thank everybody
So
for
I
this
guess we close out, huh?
Lupus
Well,
Talks.
everyone, I guess Dolores and I say bye, and we'll see
And
you
we'll
next
talk
week,
to you guys
okay?
later next week. You guys have a great evening. Until next
Dolores,
week, keep the faith and keep building the dream. Peace out.
hello, now she gone.